My name is Chris. I'm an indie game developer, and I want to introduce you to a new project I just started called Project SLAYER. The footage you see is just a work in progress, and more to come later. I had recently released a video showing the gameplay, but the quality was terrible. So I wanted to take a second and re-upload a new video that will be more informative. I wanted to take a second and show you the progress I made last week, as well as show a postcard of Demon Slayer that I'm using for art direction, as well as tell you what I plan for the project moving forward. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the project, so please give me your feedback below. And if you're interested in following the project, please consider subscribing. Obviously, this is not a full game. You can think about this almost as a tech demo for now. But you can put your headset on, be transported into the world of Demon Slayer, and activate your sword techniques by doing the proper arm motions to cut down targets. Eventually demons. Probably. And if there's enough hype, I'll try to give an option so you can fight other Demon Slayers. If any of you aren't familiar, Demon Slayer is an anime that focuses on Tanjiro, and he's training to become a Demon Slayer, to avenge the death of his family, and find a cure for his sister. On the surface it can seem just like another standard shonen anime. But what really stood out to me were the breath styles, which is somewhat based on realistic swordsmanship. I was watching last week's episode of Demon Slayer, or Kimetsu no Yaiba, titled The Power to Defeat an Uppermoon. I was literally on the edge of my seat the whole episode, but especially enjoyed the combo attack by Inosuke, Tanjiro, and Zenitsu. I couldn't help but think that it would be totally cool to do that, to actually be able to perform the different breath styles in an actual game. And not just by pressing buttons, but by actually performing the movements. I looked around the room and noticed an old Windows mixed reality headset. The idea hit me. If there isn't a VR game where you can do breath styles and fight an Uppermoon, then I'd just make one myself. So here we are. The goal for the first week was just to get a Japanese environment working in VR. Still got a long way to go before it looks like the entertainment district. I started with the sound pillar swords first. I liked his breath of sound and flashy attacks. But it would be epic to be able to become a pillar. So right now you have the basic ability to swing your sword. I did some simple blueprint logic that reads the velocity of your sword swings. If you swing hard and down, you're able to trigger your basic sword attack, complete with a small firework explosion. We'll adjust this later, as well as room explosions. And if you swing one sword in a circle by the string, you can start to do the fifth form, string performance. Right now my string performance is a long way away from looking like Tenzen Uzi. But you get the point. I spent the bulk of the week learning how to read data from the input controllers, and seeing how I can get that to control the sword attacks. But I'm going to add the first form, roar, and fourth form, constant resounding slashes, next week. I will for sure be adding water breathing and sun breathing as well. I also modeled some very basic slashes to represent the enemy attacks of Daki. Eventually I will have the slashes fly out on various tracks to represent Daki's attacks. I'm also going to work to create blood cycle attacks to represent her brother's attack. The main scene I'm trying to emulate for now is this, where you have to defend yourself against projectiles and slash attacks. That is coordinated but can come from any angle. Watching this fight scene really gave me Beat Saber vibes. So I'm trying to make gameplay similar to Beat Saber. To start, where you have to dodge and slash blood attacks. Only difference is you will have to defend attacks from all around you, which should make the game a bit more challenging. But you will have different style attacks, and each attack will have a different hitbox, with different range and strength. For example, the fourth form, resounding strike, will create a 360 protection around you. One last thing before I go, want to show a postcard of Demon Slayer that I'm using for the art direction. Postcards are usually just pieces of concept art, or an image you find, that represent the look and feel you want to emulate in your game. I like these particular images, which have a mix of realistic and cel-shaded graphics. So I'm going with something similar. A decent resolution background, with cel-shaded character, and heavily stylized particle effects. But that's all for now.